God, I am absolutely gutted about that. Very, very frustrated as well. But anyway, how's it going, everybody? It's Charlie, and welcome back to the Chatting Leeds YouTube channel. And it's time for your match review of Leeds 0, Man United 2. Just before I get into it, as always, please smash that like button. It helps get the video out there. Please subscribe if you're new to the channel as well, and share all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below, as you always do. I just want to say right from the off that wasn't a performance of a team that should be going down. You might obviously argue, we're still not getting wins, which I understand that. And if I'm being honest, I'm actually getting sick and tired of hearing, and I've said it, I have been guilty of saying it as well, but everyone that's just saying, yeah, but we played well, but it's always we played well, but and I thought for 80 minutes we were really good today, especially second half. I thought we dominated that second half until they scored. First half I thought was 50-50. I felt Man United looked a bit dangerous when they were going forward, but at the same time I felt like Leeds defended really well. I thought the only bad thing that we did at the back in the first half was when Verba pretty much sent Bruno Fernandes one-on-one with Meslier, but he pulls off a great save to keep it at 0-0. Thought Adams and Weston McKennie were both great again in that double pivot. I think it's worked well in the two games against Man United. Obviously Cooper, Mark, Rocket and Sinistera were all out of today's squad through injury. Somerville started as well. I thought Somerville was decent, but again, it was another game where we just didn't take our chances. And sometimes it is just as simple as that. I felt possession-wise, we were sound. Thought defensively, we were very sound up until the 80th minute. The crowd, I nearly lost my voice at one point. The atmosphere was electric. It was unbelievable. In fairness, in first half, the scum fans were loud as well. We were loud. And it felt like a proper old school Premier League tie. Tackles flying in. Yeah, it was a really even first half. But then, like I say, I thought second half, we absolutely dominated them. And it's just another game where we're saying we played really well, but we still didn't get anything from the game. I would have happily have taken a point at 0-0. It was getting towards the point where it was like 15 minutes left, and I was thinking to myself, you know what, we've played well. Let's just get another point on board, and we move on to Everton. But I'm sorry, you cannot be giving Marcus Rashford, of all people, a free header in the box. You just can't. I thought his header at Old Trafford, Koch, could have done a lot better to prevent that goal at Old Trafford. Today, there was just no one near him. As soon as Shaw whipped that ball in, I knew what was going to happen. I called it in my head. I thought, God, this is 1-0 here. Great ball into the box from Luke Shaw. And, I feel like everything that Rashford touches at the minute turns to gold. Is in the form of his life at the moment. Really turned his career around this season under Erik ten Hag. But yeah, you cannot be giving him that amount of space in the box. I'm sorry. I thought we defended really well for the majority, but once that goal went in, and I feel like it's the same in any game. It doesn't matter who we're playing. If the opposition score, it doesn't really matter what point of the game it's in as well. If the opposition score, the whole game plan, everything that we've done previously that's been good, it just goes to pot. And the game plan goes out the window. We start being erratic. It's more frantic. It's more 100 miles an hour. Panic football. And that's what happened today. Soon as Rashford's goal went in, it changed. The whole plan changed. And the second goal from Garnacho, the little cheat, that was just a sickener. I think I felt worse with the second goal. Because 2-0 now makes it look like, for anyone that's not watched the game, that Man United were all over us and they got a nice, easy 2-0 win. It was anything but that. Anything but that. We were the better side for the majority, in my opinion. And that's not me being Leeds biased or anything like that. Even the pundits, my dad was saying, I called in to see him on way home, and he obviously saw it on the telly, and he said, even Neville, Micah Richards, we're all saying that if Leeds United keep playing like that, we will be fine. It's all well and good them saying that, but obviously at the same time, we're playing well, but we've still not won a league game since the 5th of November. Let that sink in. We have not won in the Premier League since Bonfire Night, pre-World Cup. For me, Marsh should have gone after the Fulham defeat. Remember, in that week, we got beat by Leicester away, we were shocking, and then we were really bad against Fulham and lost 3-2. He should have gone then. Because then a new coach, whoever it may be, would have come in. Yeah, the Liverpool, Bournemouth and Spurs games, what would have happened in those games would have happened, and then he would have had a full World Cup break and a January transfer window to turn this round. But now, we're in a position where there's 16 games left. We're running out of games, obviously. We're getting rejected publicly by some top managers. Arne Slot turned us down. Marcelo Gallardo turned us down. Iraola's a bit of a weird one. I think he wants to come, but his club are obviously saying no, and there's weird rules over in Spain with him having to pay a release clause, etc. Fair enough. But then now, out of nowhere last night, Alfred Schroeder, however you say his name, ex-Ajax, Club Bruges and Hoffenheim coach, has just come out of nowhere and is now the bookies' favourite. And it's been confirmed by Adam Pope and Joe Donahue that he was at the game today. So obviously he's a big contender. For me, he's not even a contender. In my opinion, I'm not saying that it means he'll definitely get appointed, but at the same time, why would he be at the game if he wasn't? Or if it isn't nailed on, why wouldn't he be at the game? I mean, why would he be at the game, if it wasn't nailed on? Whether we like this appointment or not, I don't understand why he would go to the game if it wasn't ready to be announced soon. From what, I'll be honest, I don't know anything about him. I don't know about him, but from what I'm hearing, from what we've seen from Ajax fans on Twitter, from what I've seen just by Googling his record as a manager, this would be a woeful appointment. A very bad appointment. But I think the club are just desperate now. Publicly turned down by two managers. One manager that we've seen really, it's proving very difficult to get over the line in Iraola at Vallecano. Yeah, from what I'm seeing, this just isn't a good appointment in my opinion. But Jesse Marsh is obviously being linked with the Southampton job. They've been a long admirer of him. The Athletic have even said that Marsh is under serious consideration by Southampton. Now, that could work out for Southampton. It might not. But the fact of the matter is that they've got a plan. They know Marsh is out of work. They've sacked Nathan Jones and they've got a plan. And they'll probably get him. And how poetic would it be for Jesse Marsh's Southampton side to come and beat us in a few weeks? That's not me being negative. I'm just saying as a hypothetical thought. Southampton had a plan Aston Villa, when they sacked Steven Gerrard, they got Emery within a few days. They had a plan. Everton with Sean Dyche. Now, I'm not saying all those appointments have been perfect or that Dyche will keep Everton up. I hope he doesn't, obviously. But they all had plans. Whether the fans were going to agree with it or not, whether it's a good style of football, whether it's a good fit, whether it's the right idea or not, they had a plan of who to go for. I feel like we have as well. But when it's not worked, instead of going for other good and gettable managers, I feel like we've just settled for like a 5th, 6th choice. Now, don't get me wrong, whoever comes in, whether it's Schroeder, whether it's Iraola, whether it's whoever, I'll get behind them, of course, because I'm a Leeds fan and I want whoever's in charge to do well. I wanted Marsh to do well, but it just didn't work out. Whoever comes in, like I just said, I really want to do well and I'll get behind them. But I just don't get why you would go for a manager with such a bad track record. If it had been where he'd have done well at his first few jobs, then he made a step up to Ajax, one of the biggest teams in Holland, and it just didn't work out for him. You could think, right, okay, fair enough. But at Hoffenheim, he didn't do great. At Club Brugge, he was only in charge a short while. And at Ajax, he had them 4th, which you might think, yeah, that's not bad. But a team like Ajax expect to be top of the league. They expect Champions League, but it just didn't do great with them. And he was a former assistant of Erik ten Hag as well. Look, he could come in and it could do wonders for us. But the track record doesn't suggest that will happen. It's one of the biggest potential appointments in recent history for Leeds, and it needs to be correct. It needs to be right. But would we rather wait even longer to get Iraola? Give it Scoobs while end of season and get Iraola in summer? Because that's a big risk. Or do you get a manager in who, even though his record isn't great, has at least managed at a decent level? It's a tough dilemma, and I wouldn't want to be the person making that final call. But it's just tough, innit? There's Nuno, there's Benitez as well. Would I want either of them? Probably not, but at least they've managed in the Premier League. They know how it works. I don't know. I don't know how to feel at the minute, but I think whoever gets appointed, we need to get behind them, because that's the only thing you can do, because they've got a massive task to keep Leeds in this league now. I'm not really worried yet. I'm starting to get a bit worried now, but if we get beat by Everton, whoever's in charge, if we get beat by Everton next week, then alarm bells will be ringing 100%. It then makes the Southampton game even huger, even more big. But I'm just rambling now, guys, so I will leave it there. But just to quickly summarise the game itself, today I thought it was another brilliant performance for 80 minutes. I'm just disappointed in the fact that the game plan and everything that we'd done previously just went to pot once Rashford scored. I thought Skabala's subs as well were a bit questionable. Yes, Bamford didn't do much in terms of shots on target, good potential assists or anything like that, but I think you saw the difference when he went off and when Jack Harrison went off as well, who I thought had a poor first half, did Jack, but I thought in the second half he did improve. Rutter, I've seen a lot of people slamming him, and I understand it. He didn't do much when he come on, and the price tag will obviously follow him. But he's a young lad, he's still acclimatising, adapting to this league. Let's not write him off just yet. It wasn't great, I'll admit, but let's not write him off just yet. I thought Luke Ayling was amazing again today. Adams and Weston, McKenna Jr. Firpo as well, I thought was really good. Seems like he's starting to get a bit of confidence now, which is really good to see. But yeah, it just wasn't our day today. I'm gutted because it was against that lot. But yeah, Everton's huge now, and we'll see what happens with the managerial appointment. If you've enjoyed this one, please smash that like button. It really helps get the video out there, as I said at the beginning. Please subscribe if you're new to the channel, and share all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. I will do a final say upload tomorrow, and who knows, we might have some concrete news about the new manager as well. So make sure you stay tuned and keep it locked at Chatting Leeds, and I'll see you in a bit. Cheers.